And hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're in utter insanity. So the Blue Man 003 made another Blockception Parkour map, which I'm very excited about. But I'm just looking around and noticing, oh my goodness, this is massive. This looks great so far. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I figured we'll go about this. I played Blockception 4. I don't think I played any of the previous ones besides 4, but 4 was a ton of fun. So I figured, why not play 5 too? I love the Blue Man's maps. He makes good maps. Now there are 11 different blocks. So, it's a bit of a long one. From what I'm seeing, about 45 minutes to an hour and a half in terms of completion time. From the leaderboard, it was looking like it'll probably air a bit closer to the hour and a half mark, most likely. So I'm going to assume this will probably be 2 or 3 parts. I'll go for about half an hour, I'll say, and then we'll see from there. Although if I'm messing stuff up early on, this might take a bit longer than I'd hope. We'll see. Whoops. Man, it's just so cool looking around and seeing just the insane amounts of blocks used for this stuff. It does also kind of spark my interest in making kind of the blocks that are made up of smaller blocks for my survival world, which is always interesting. I want to make a couple more of those. I did a crafting table. I didn't do a great job of it. Those definitely, from a distance, I think they look significantly better like that. But at the same time, from up close, I don't really care as much for those crafting tables. That's the other thing, too, for a map like this. It's very much so based around building them to look good at a distance, since pretty much every block you're going to see is going to be from a distance. I hate ice jumps. Ice jumps are, I don't know. Like, as long as they're not too insanely far spaced away, they're not bad. But the problem is, ice jumps at the peak of what's possible for ice jumps are a total pain to try and complete. I keep overjumping that last one. I got this. There's 110 levels. That's good. I forgot that this shows the level count too, so I'll be able to pick up a decent idea of where I'm at overall, which is always nice. Which, as per usual, I'm pretty rusty on parkour. I pace these parkour videos that I do out perfectly to the point that I've completely lost most of my parkour skill by the time I'm doing the next one. Which, just perfect. I know it sounds like an excuse, but it's true. Oh, snap. Are we already on block 2? Whoa. Wait, is this supposed to be deep slate? Dropper. Ah. It's hard to tell from the outside for these. Oh, what? What? Oh, double jumps. Right. I remember these. Double jump map was cool. From what I was reading, pretty much every thing that was in the Blockception 4 is in here, except for, however, the mirror jumps, which thank goodness they're not in here. I hated those so much, and that's the reason why they're not, is apparently people really hated them, so they went ahead and decided they were not necessary for the next map, which I'm very grateful for. What's the strategy for this jump here? Is it... Ooh, there we go. I don't think I was doing that the ideal way, but it ended up working out. Some of these Neo jumps. Love to see it. Cool. What is that? Huh, strange. I think it's just noting that you have to go up further. Pretty sure that's all that is. Just for people that miss it. Okay, cool. Oh, whoops. Shouldn't have angled that there. Should have just kept going straight. Ooh, went too far that time. Boom. Cool, cool, cool. I can just kind of go up these. Wait, what? Oh. Ah, that makes sense. Whoosh. Okay. Level 19, making good progress. Just some basic, nice, relaxing parkour. Jump boost. Jump boost parkour is, like, fun, but at the same time cursed. Because a lot of times when people do... Ooh, we're on to block number 3. But a lot of times when people do jump boost parkour, they set it up in a way where it's... How do I put this? Like, it's kind of the same problem you end up with a lot of ice jumps. Where if they're... Oh, slow fall blocks. If they're put at the point where they're not really that far of jumps, then they're kind of fun and not bad. But if they're put to the extremes of what's possible for that kind of jump, then they're a complete pain. Keep missing that last jump. Come on, mate. But I guess that's the case for any jump. Like, a series of 3-block jumps, completely relaxing and no sweat. But as soon as you start putting in 4-block jumps, it starts to become an actual challenge, right? And that's a bit of a weird analogy just from the standpoint of a lot of us that do any degree of parkour gets really used to 4-block jumps. Granted, whenever I'm rusty, the first couple that happen after that, I always end up failing big time. But yeah, we get so used to 4-block jumps that we don't remember kind of how that was when we first started, how much of a pain they were. Whee, whoops. Okay, I'm going too far too fast. That can also be annoying with jumps, is when they're spaced at just that right distance where if you're not careful you'll over jump them. Okay, yeah, it looks like... Whoops. Oh, that was bad. Okay. Let's try this again. Almost. I need to remember how to properly do these double jumps. I had them down pretty good when I was doing the Blue Man's double jump map. Whew, I should not have had that one. But now I don't remember exactly how to do them. Part of the deal with them is they're based around elytra, which makes them a bit inconsistent. And also makes it so I believe the location... Whoops. Didn't jump in time there. The location of your mouse and how long you hold space and stuff like that, I believe, do affect it. Well, maybe not the space thing. Did I not? There we go. Because of the way elytra work, since they're affected by elytra. But I also remember that I never quite figured out if I was 100% certain if my theory was right or not. I overjumped the last jump, of course. That's going to be what kills me with this sort of stuff, is always those fails last second. I remember when I was going pretty hard on the snake parkour map, like, I'd have such a good run, like, possible top 5 run, and then, like, on just one level, I'd fail at the very end of it, and it would ruin me. But, like, I would have failed, like, 3 times earlier in the run and still been on for a top 5 run. It was just that I'd failed early enough on each level that I had failed on that it wasn't a very big deal. Whoosh, okay. Get that turn right. And there we go, next block. If I can step on it properly. We're through 30 levels. 3 blocks done. On to our 4th block. I will say, it hits the point with so many small textures and it starts looking so scuffed that sometimes it gets hard to tell what exactly the block is from the outside of it. We're inside of a smoker. So cool. The panning shots are so laggy, though. Oh, snake blocks. Here we go. This is... this is what I remember. Me remembering it doesn't make me good at it. Yeah, snake blocks. But yeah, when you get them so big, like the thing about it is any 16 by 16 replica of a block isn't going to be exact. So then, but you make it look close enough using the smaller blocks that it's pretty obvious what it is. But then once you start getting very large amounts of certain blocks where, like, you know, you have the bit of it that's lost on one level and then you have the bit more lost on the next level and so on, it eventually hits a point where it's kind of hard to tell what's what. Like, obviously you can look at that and go, that's supposed to be one of those daisy things that are in the game. I forget what exactly the daisies in the game are called, but, you know, it's not a big deal. But, yeah, so you can obviously look at it and go, I know what that is. But then, you know, if each of the blocks used to make it are then of... Look, I did that backwards. Are then of lower... texture quality because they're made up of blocks below it, it hits the point where it gets less and less recognizable until you can hardly recognize the blocks anymore. Oh my goodness, what in the actual world are these jumps? Thank goodness the slow fall lasts like until you land. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how the slow fall effect works in this. It ends as soon as you land instead of having a timer. Thank goodness for that. It would be such a pain if it wasn't set up that way for some of those jumps, because the timing would have to be a lot more precise with the double jumps. And later on in the map, there'll probably be some of that. Whoops. Where you have to be a lot more precise with it. I've already died 46 times. That's fine. But I am almost 40 levels through and only 12 minutes in or whatever, so feeling good about that part at least. Boom. I messed that up. The annoying thing about the double jumps and stuff is, as I was mentioning earlier with the elytra stuff, they can be kind of fidgety, and it feels like you get a different amount of jump each time. Finicky. That was the word I was looking for, not fidgety. So as a result, it can be kind of annoying if it feels like you got kind of cut short on one of them. Okay, let's go. Oh, snap. This is going to be obnoxious. I can already tell that. I missed that. Let's just take a step back and do this again. Okay, come over here and then jump all the way over there? 1, 2, 3, and up 1. Yeah, that should be possible. It's kind of annoying, not going to lie. Oh my goodness, I'm going to mess that up again. Unless I'm missing something, but I really don't think I am. Yeah, nah, I was just messing up the jump. That's fine. On to the next block. I like that there's only 10 levels per block. It gives like a good spacing every 10 levels to kind of feel like, okay, I'm done with those 10 levels. I should be good. But it's for the levels are for sure going to get longer. I almost guarantee it. Or at least more difficult. What? Huh? Why were they randomly speeding up? Also, these things are weird beyond all belief. Like, moving platforms work in other games, but Minecraft? What? Whose idea was this? Okay, it's a pretty great idea, but still. Like, I like it. It just weirds me out. Oh, I should not jump there. Going for those aggressive jumps, trying to not have to wait it all for these to move towards me. Only problem is that I'm missing them. Yeah, they're definitely going to take some getting used to. This is not a normal mechanic you expect to see in a game like Minecraft. Already getting longer, though. You can tell. Problem is if they weren't getting longer, the whole, like, hour-and-a-half mark would be so far off. Although the record's, like, 20-something minutes for this map. Just, you know, I know I'm not good enough to get the record for this map, at least not with grinding it out for quite a while. One of the things that kind of bothers me whenever I play a Blue Man map is I always think back to the snake parkour map that I worked on the record for a while. I think I hit like number 5 on the charts at my peak. But like it always kind of bothers me looking back because I know that I could have done better. Stop moving away from me, you little brat. Okay. Like, I know that I could have gotten, like, at least 1 or 2. Number 1 or number 2. If I had worked at it harder and longer. But I am happy with where I ended up. I'm pretty sure the Pizza Man commented on that video. The dude that's always, topping the charts for all these Blue Man games. Like, he's always pretty high up there, for sure. Oh my goodness, these are fast. They're only sprint speed, but that is fast for what these are. Okay, that didn't not exactly go as expected. What am I doing? Okay. These are a bit faster than I like to deal with. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't jump in time. These are really cool, though. I gotta say. Moving platforms, they're just not something I'm used to the idea of in this game. So I'm just really thrown off right now. Which is one thing that's nice about Blue Man maps is he's pretty much always incorporating something you don't typically see into his maps. Oh, that is unpleasantly close. Only problem is they're also old mechanics that if you get any amount of lag whatsoever, you're doomed for. Oh my goodness, these faster platforms are unbearable. Okay. Whoosh. Boom. 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 How are you supposed to make that one? What? like, they get within jumping distance of each other for a pretty short time, and you're moving so fast that by the... I guess they get within 2 blocks of each other. Barely made it. Barely made it. That was close. Okay, just gonna hit that. The other thing that annoys me about being able to see my death counters, there's some deaths with the snake stuff where it doesn't really add any time, but it does add a death. And I don't know, it just kind of weirds me out. Okay. I don't... These fast platforms are throwing me off so hard. I only have a couple levels left of this area, and once I get past this area, there should at least be less of these sort of jumps. I'm going to wait till the next one, because I already missed that pretty hard. Shouldn't have waited till the next one. You just kind of got to go for it. Any amount of waiting in this is going to kill you. Anytime you have the option to jump, you got to jump. Except for in those situations where you're on a standing block. Then yeah, waiting isn't quite such a bad thing. I jumped too soon. If I had held sprint and forward, I could have had that. But I gave up on it too early. Whoosh. Whoosh. Boom. Once again, gonna wait for it to come back. Don't want to deal with that. Oh my goodness. No thanks. No thanks. No thanks. No thanks. No thanks. Can we just be done with those fast moving platforms? I'm so done with them. Oh my goodness. I'm not even... It's crazy thinking I'm only like 6 minutes away from the record. Whoa. The other thing about it is I don't take in the sights enough for this. Like, I need to stop a bit more and just take a look around. Oh, this goes... Wait, what? There's more levels to this? Is it I have to finish level 50 and then level 50? Oh, yeah, that would make sense. I'm on level 50. 51's the one that brings you off. That makes more sense. I'm stupid. But yeah, like, this water temple is really cool. I just don't pay a lot of attention to my surroundings because I'm so focused on the parkour. So I miss how great this area looks. Man, these moving ones really stress me out. On to the next area. What will the next one be? I'm so unsure. Block number 6, deep slate. That makes sense. Yeah. Speed jumps, my arch nemesis. I hate speed jumps. I like them as long as they're easy like that, but... Like, they basically take parkour and... Like, as long as the parkour is built around speed jumps, normally it'll actually make it more difficult that there's speed jumps in it. As much as many people don't realize that. Even stuff like 4-block jumps can be more difficult depending on the situation with speed. People don't respect... Well, maybe respect's the wrong word. People don't realize just how much speed can ruin in parkour enough. Like, speed can be the difference between, you know, oh, I would have made that jump, but I had speed, so I messed up. Because two things. First off, it makes it more difficult to get proper jump timing off of a block. And the other thing is you're more likely to over jump slightly easier ones. Okay. Oh, the slow falling does wear off. That's heartbreaking. I could have had that. Nice. Okay. Yucky ice jumps. But yeah, they lower your window for a jump so much. And like in areas where you have to momentum stuff, you have to land on a block for just long enough to have been on the block and move to the edge of the block. See, that's... Oh. Weird lag stuff there. That's kind of what I was talking about with the double jumps being inconsistent, though. But yeah, you have to be on a block long enough... Okay. World's lagging. To move to the edge so that you can get the most potential out of a jump. But with speed, the amount of time that you're on the block decreases. So you still have to not jump immediately for the sake of being able to move a little further in the block. But... Okay, whoops, I messed that up. But if you wait at all, you're very likely to fall off the end, which makes speed jumps very annoying. But as long as it's just normal parkour that speed's added to, it can, you know, be fine enough. It's, you know, as with jump boost and stuff like that, it's the parkour maps that are specifically catered around them and pushing the boundaries of what's capable with an amount of speed and stuff like that that really makes it difficult. I already have 88 deaths. I'm just speedrunning dying as many times as possible. I might be able to have this map done in sub 1 hour though, which would be pretty cool if I do say so myself. Whoosh. Other interesting thing, like, just kind of about Minecraft in general as a game, is... Did I miss a... Yeah, I missed the jump boost there. Is how every different aspect of this game, pretty much, has a community built around it. And pretty much anybody outside of that community who plays the exact same game will learn a completely different skill set related to the game. Oh yeah, we're going to the next area. Once I finish up this next block, I'll probably call the video there. But yeah, everybody... That's a piston. Something I finally recognize. But yeah, everybody who's in a specific area learns something different than somebody that's in a different area of the game. Like, somebody that's very big into... Ooh... Bed Wars is very likely to know how to say speed bridge. Like, a lot of more almost all casual players of Bed Wars don't know how to speed bridge, but most people that take it seriously for pretty much any length of time, to any degree, learn to speed bridge at some point or another. So most people, you know, it's a skill that's very commonly used in the Bed Wars area of the game. But yet, despite the fact that anybody who's played Bed Wars has at the very least encountered speed bridging and knows what it is, for example, when Dream utilized speed bridging in one of his manhunts, he surprised a lot of people with it, which is the really interesting thing. You know, something that for somebody like me who, you know, I was very big into the Bed Wars community at one point. So, you know, it was legit nothing of even note to me to even note the... Okay. Stuff's lagging. Yeah, stuff's lagging. This is obnoxious. Give me... Okay, there we go. So yeah, for somebody that knows what speed bridging is, which is... you know, anybody within certain areas of the game of Minecraft, there wasn't even anything of note in the fact that he speed bridged, because, you know, anybody that plays a large amount of Bed Wars at least knows somebody that speed bridges or can do it themselves. But then, you know, there's other factors, whereas, like, then he jumps over lava and boats and stuff like that, and it surprises people, because, you know, it's not something you're used to seeing, but people that, you know, are involved in certain areas of the Minecraft community probably immediately knew what it is, wasn't surprised in the slightest. Oh my goodness, why is stuff lagging? Just gonna drop 18? Weirdness? Maybe I'll just drop graphics. It might help. my goodness, everything's so bright now. I don't know what exactly caused that. But yeah, so like the thing about Dream and what he was doing, in my opinion, it's not necessarily as much that he was doing anything revolutionary or anything special. It's just a matter of he took a lot of stuff that was very localized to one area of the game, and he was, you know, putting it all kind of together. Whoa. Why in the world is the game lagging all of a sudden? There is something about this sticky piston area that my computer and Minecraft in general does not like at all. What in the actual world? And now it thinks I have an electron. Game's crashing. I have it. Okay, I think we're probably good. Although, now my score... No, I think the map's broken, if I'm being 100% honest. I think whatever happened also broke the map, maybe? What? I'm so confused. Maybe it's just lag. Maybe I'm being paranoid. I mean, oh yeah, it's just lag. It is kind of a big map. Just kind of. You know. Oh. Was I doing that wrong? Was I not supposed to jump up that? Oh no, I need the jump for there. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, for a big map like this, that sort of thing happens. Where was I? Oh, I made the same stupid mistake. I think that with the whole different communities of Minecraft, I think it's also part of what makes the game, you know, survive for as long as it has, is every time that people think they've seen everything there is to see with the game, you know, they realize that there's some community that they've missed, or, you know, there's just some aspect of the game they haven't fully enjoyed. And this is simply talking about multiplayer stuff, not even getting into survival aspects. Like, some people with command block stuff get so insanely complex and know aspects of the game that I haven't even thought about, to be completely honest. And, you know, like, there's people in the redstone community that without using a single command block builds essentially a computer in the game. And, you know, it's just crazy how much these people can do without, you know, certain aspects of the game and stuff like that, by just pursuing one aspect by such insane amounts. Which is why when you bring an aspect from one area of the game into another, you can, you know, I need you to not use that double jump. I remember this was a problem I had in the double jump map as well. But yeah, you can completely change the aspect of one area of the game by simply bringing in something that's used in another part of the game. And it's just crazy to me. It's part of what makes me love Minecraft in general, though, is kind of that aspect of, you know, you can have so many different communities, so many different parts, but at the same time, we're all part of the same, you know, game community and stuff like that. That was not supposed to use 2. Okay, that honestly works. If you want to just jump over game, just jump over. Apparently I don't know what I'm doing here. Keep stinking using double jumps where I don't need to. No. That's one problem with this sort of map, is whenever it lags. But, like, yeah, there's stuff even in this map that can be noted for that, like moving blocks and stuff like that. For people that play a lot of Minecraft maps and are very heavy in the more mapped community, it's not really anything all that special that there's moving blocks. Like, it's cool still. It's not something that's been used out of to the point where it's not even cool anymore, but it has been used enough that it's, you know, not something that's like, oh my goodness, you have moving blocks. That's possible. Whereas people that aren't very involved in map communities won't realize that. It's just crazy to me. I don't think this goes all the way. If I'm being 100% honest, I'm pretty sure I need at least one double jump for this. Yeah. I need to conserve one double jump. And one thing of note is I'm not, you know, knocking Dream or anything for it. I actually think it's a pretty great thing that, you know, he was able to, you know, bring together so many different aspects of the game at once. And the thing about Dream is, yeah, he cheated on the speedrun. I think we can all agree that that's something that was morally wrong to do. And maybe not all can agree. There's some people that, you know, seem to think that there's nothing morally wrong with cheating because it's just a game or whatever they use to excuse it. But, like, the thing about it is, part of my opinion is, you know, with stuff like that, where you can agree that Dream did something wrong for the most part. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing to be learned or gained from noting other parts of stuff that Dream's done. And I think that's something that... Okay, how did I mess that up again? I think that's something that's missed a lot when talking about people doing something wrong, which is that a lot of times, especially if it's something smaller that people have done that's wrong, just because they did one thing wrong doesn't mean that there's nothing that can be learned from stuff that they have done that's good. But at the same time, you have to be careful to note that there's, you know, some people that are, you know, morally corrupt enough that you don't want to try and learn pretty much anything from them. So it's a hard thing to balance, but, you know, I think in the case with people like Dream, it's important to note that there's stuff that can be learned from stuff he's done, and, you know, stuff like that that can still be used even if, you know, he's done something wrong. But, like, okay, I kind of started this train of thought, and now I'm kind of going through stuff I've thought about this that I haven't really said anything about in a while, because, funny enough, these sort of videos are normally where I'm talking about this sort of stuff. But, I do find the argument that it's just a game, who cares that Dream cheated, one of the most stupid arguments that you can fall for. Because let me just explain real quick kind of how I see that sort of thing. Is, you know, it's just a game for people who, you know, play it for fun and have no financial attachment to it and have no more professional attachment to it, like in the case of it being a more organized hobby and stuff like that for them. But, like, for people that do heavy competitive speedrunning, for people that, you know, it's a very large part of their hobby, like, it's not just a game anymore for them, it's more of a hobby, or the people that, you know, make a career out of it, whatever way they do that in, you know, for them, it's much more than just a game, right? And the argument that it's just a game, while it applies to a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of people in the community who this affected, that for them, one way or another, whether it's because their job involves it or because they, you know, are involved in a bit more of a professional sense, which the server's like again. You know, it's more than just a game for them at that point. which makes it difficult for the argument of, oh, it's just a game, you know, why would it bother you, kind of argument to stand true. Like, would you ever tell a professional NFL star who dropped the game-winning touchdown that, oh, it's just a game, you know, who cares? Of course not, because, you know, for them it's much more than just a game. Now, the important thing to note at the same time is for those of us that are here commentating on it and, you know, the main people that are talking about, who talked about the controversy while it was going on and stuff like that, you know, for them and for us and stuff like that, it is just a game, right? So as a result, you know, at the same time, if somebody gets overly emotional about whether or not their sports team won, you are pretty likely to go, come on, man, it's just a game. It's not that big of a deal, whether your team won or lost. So it's, you know, you gotta keep everything in perspective. And I feel like that's how a lot of things are in life in general, is you gotta keep things in perspective. I hate how stuff's starting to get laggy now that I've hit this point in the game. One sec. Okay, guys, it hit a point where it was just kind of not working at all. Like, it was completely broken. And the confusing thing is, I went ahead and restarted, allocated a bit more memory in case that was the problem, and it wasn't using 100% of the disk. So I'm a little confused why it wasn't working. Like, it just decided that, you know, it was done. And it might have been, because it was capping out on memory before I allocated more. So it might have been something to do with, you know, it was running stuff improperly, and then after I restarted, the damage was kind of already done. Because I let it run for a second, and it was still having problems. So the damage might have already just kind of been done, and that was it. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. And as much as this hurts me to say, if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.